Well, hey there. Welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, today I'm working on pawpaw seeds, as you may have guessed. And give me a minute to water this in a little bit. Give some more water to these other pots. I think that's it for today. Get the tablet, put it away here. Something I wanted to share with you and talk to you about today, and that is about seed, quality of seed. What do we call quality of seed? What is our opinions about seeds? Everybody has their own opinions when it comes to the pawpaw seeds. Me personally, I categorize seeds according to what I see fit for myself. Now, if you notice, all these pots have zip ties on them, and they're color coded, and there's a reason behind that. Now, we can go out into the wild, we can collect seed, and chances are if you collect seed from the wild in your area and you grow them out as rootstock for grafting, they should make a good rootstock because they're able to survive, the rootstock that is, in the area that you live in. These right here are different than just wild seeds. As I said, you have regular pawpaw seeds, wild seeds, seeds that you just don't pay attention to where they come from. And then I have an area that I call seed select. Seed select, in my personal opinion, is knowing what the parent tree that seed came from. Case in point, I have two pots here, this one and this one. It's marked double blue, and both of them pots, the seeds came out of an NC1. It's my way of keeping track. I have, like I said, there's 5 of them here, and there's another one right here, which is yellow orange, and I wrote everything down. Yellow orange, okay, yellow orange would be nebulous. That was the scion that I shared that came from Red Fern Farm when I made my trip. I took one piece of fruit, I marked it accordingly, and I marked a couple pieces of fruit from that tree, and the fruit at the time was marked NWC1, and it was my way of keeping track of where that fruit came from, and it was also my way of keeping track of where that cultivar, because later on Tom had named that cultivar Jim's Nebulous, which I just call it Nebulous. I don't deserve no credit for that. He named that after me, by the way. And then I have another one right here, and I'm reading from left to right as I'm reading, like I'm reading a book. Blue red, and blue red, that's NWC2. NWC2 was right next to Nebulous, and in my personal opinion, it's just my way of thinking. When I said seed select, now I'm going to talk about premier seed select, parentage. You know what the cross was. So these two trees were right next to each other, and if memory serves me right, I didn't see any other trees in their general vicinity that was fruiting. So there's a high probability that Nebulous and NWC2 pollinated one another. So in my mind, I semi-know what the parentage was, but then again, I'm just going to say Premier Seed. I'm not going to call them Premier Seed Select. These are intended to grow out to see what they develop, because both of them was carrying extremely large fruit. And then this last one I have, that's Wabash Seed Select. The fruit came from an orchard that had a a lot of cultivars in it, so we don't know what the other side is, but we know what one side is, which is Wabash. And I only saved seed out of one fruit, and there was a total of 15 seeds in that fruit, which is kind of high in my book. But they all came from one piece of fruit, whereas Nebulous came out of 2 pieces of fruit. There's 23 seeds, and NWC 2 came out of 2 fruit, which there's 20 seed, which is not nearly as bad as what I pulled from Wabash. The NC1 last year, I had very few flowers to work with because we had a late frost and all the flowers got blowed up. I kept pulling pollen from a sunflower that the flowers just stayed in there, and that tree, by the way, was loaded with fruit. But I can't call that Premier Seed Select because there was other trees within that little orchard of mine that did have some flowers in it. So I hope that kind of explains to you my thoughts about seed. You know, you have regular Pawpaw seed, you've got Seed Select, which you know one side of the parentage, and you have Premier Seed Select, you know both sides of the parentage. That's just my explanation of fruit seed. And these are going to go into the greenhouse. The greenhouse, we got into that time of year, it's staying pretty warm in there. Yesterday, I woke up, it was 26 degrees outside, and with one side of that greenhouse door left open overnight, that was our overnight low, I still had 36-degree temperature in there. Right now it's closed up, and I'm willing to bet you I'm setting roughly around 75 degrees in there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these moved over to the greenhouse and get them stored up, and cross my fingers for good germination. But anyways, my name is Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. You all have a God blessed day.